How would you like to have a talk? We can catch up about how things have been, if you want. Perhaps you'd like to catch up.
As if I would say no.
Ah, wonderful. Let me just change first. Your clothes are nice, but it's getting a little cold for them. I need my sweater. Hang on a moment. Give me just a moment here. Ah, there we are, much more cozy. Or perhaps cozier. Ah, that's much better. Now then, I have some things I wanted to ask of you, but I'm sure you also have things you wanted to ask of me. So why don't we start with those? What did you wish to discuss?
So many things. Are we gonna get to ask all of them? Just in case, maybe we'll pick the most important ones. We'll cut right to the chase.
Oh, is that all? Look, I'm very fond of Natsuki. Hopefully I make that very clear. She is strong, much stronger than she realizes. And she has a good sense of justice and fairness. And she is brash but kind. She's rather a unique person, don't you think? But beyond that, well, anything beyond what I have already said would have to be between me and her. For now, anyway. If I require your assistance navigating the complex maze that is Natsuki, I will surely ask. Although I think perhaps I know her a little better than you do. But we will see. In any event, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, you better avoid that one, huh? Okay, so, considering it's still on the list, I'm guessing it will let us continue picking things until nothing else. So, how have you been?
Oh, I've been well. I don't think I've gotten much more out of my shell, so to speak, which is what every person seems to be concerned with when they ask about my personal development. But you were asking about how I was doing, not whether I had achieved any personal growth. I've been spending time by myself, for the most part, doing the things I usually do. Although I'm reading online a lot now, more than I used to. Mostly because I've become more interested in reading poetry recently. And books of poetry are not always easy to find. I've always been spending more time recently with my friends from the literature club. Outside the literature club, that is. The other day I played laser tag for the first time. Can you believe that? Me playing laser tag. It was actually quite thrilling. You get to stalk amidst darkness and mist, waiting for the perfect moment to strike your prey. Although the other participants might not have described it that way. Anyway, I don't want to ramble on forever. Surely there are other things you wanted to talk about.
How about that festival?
Oh, the festival went very well. We had a lot of fun. I even threw balls at the dunk tank. It didn't feel so bad with Miss Ida. She's close to us still now. But other than that, we walked around, ate some food, played some games. Of all people, it was Natsuki that needed a break first. Despite being a very active person, she doesn't like to walk or run around for long stretches. Or rather, she likes to, but she tires easily when she does so. Although she does just fine with exercise that isn't walking or running. I wonder why. Anyway, the festival was very fun. Thank you for asking. It was also Monica's late birthday celebration. We gave her a bunch of gifts before you showed up. She didn't have time to celebrate her actual birthday. I think her favorite thing about today was having so many people come and visit, though. I was glad to, that we had so many visitors early in the day. Even if they don't join, hopefully they come away with an enhanced appreciation of literature. Or hopefully they at least liked Natsuki's cupcakes. So, what's next?
Ida.
She seems fine. A little weary now and then, but fine. I think she works so hard. She puts a lot of effort into her lesson plans. But also she seems lonely somehow. I think maybe that's part of why she likes to spend time with the club. She moved here for this job. Her family is far away. And I don't think she has many friends here. I know she's been going out on dates from time to time, but that doesn't seem to be going well. I would try to help her or find out more, but I don't want to pry. She's our teacher, after all. I do think we made the right choice in showing her the truth, though. That she has dealt with pretty well, I think. The way she sees it, it doesn't change much about what's important in the world. Which is a healthy way of looking at it. But anyway, I said I didn't want to pry too much. Even talking about someone's dating life feels like a terrible intrusion. Shall we discuss something else?
Sure. How about Sayori and MC?
Oh, the happy couple is as happy as ever. It's surprising how little their dynamic has changed so far. But I guess they were so close for so long that their dynamic was already well established. Although I seem to recall Sayori telling us that, just before the original festival, they had drifted apart slightly. They'd still see each other plenty, they just weren't constant companions like they used to be. That only changed when the incident happened. I wonder why they had drifted apart. Sayori's depression, perhaps, and MC's retreat into being more isolated. But then, Zero was always stronger about her depression than you saw in our original game. But maybe you saw some of that with the side stories, if you've seen TDLC Plus. She could be very strong, very forthright about her depression. Just never with MC. Maybe she was afraid it would ruin things. But at least now they're close, very close. One charming thing is that it's very clear that they're physically intimate from the way they act, but they think it's a big secret. I'm pretty sure everyone knows, though. Well, everyone except Natsuki. She keeps teasing them about PDA, but I think she'd be shocked and turn completely red if she knew how far they'd gone. But I'm sure she'd be happy for them. Anyway, perhaps there were other things you'd wanted to talk about.
How about that summer break?
It was surprisingly active, at least by my standards. I spent far more of it than I usually would with members of the club. My family even dragged me on a short trip to Korea. It made me think of your world somewhat. From what I can tell, your pandemic problem is still going, sadly.
Not so much at the moment, but, I mean, at the time it was written.
For which I'm very sorry. But still, it seems like international travel is at least somewhat possible. I'm grateful that we can do it in here with no issues. Hopefully your world will soon be able to do the same again. But such was my summer. Still plenty of quiet reading by myself, thankfully. But tempered with considerably more social interaction than I would usually find comfortable. But it's worth it for my friends. Anyway, what else?
Monica's project.
Yes, Monica's been working all summer on some coding project or other. I don't know what it is yet. I'm sure she'll tell us when she's ready. If she ever finishes, of course. She started many coding projects that she never finishes. Plus, she's always helping me anytime one of us needs to code something, like me with my room innovations. Or Yuri when she wrote that complicated mod about Natsuki. Monica is a very helpful person. She's a natural teacher, she just doesn't think of herself that way. You know, one thing I've come to learn about Monica is that she doesn't think about herself very much. I don't mean that she's unselfish, although she usually is, or that she's self-neglectful. I mean that the things she often thinks about, the way she views things, are external. She worries about the way the world is, the way others are. And even when it's a concern that affects her, she's likely to think about more of the motivations and thought processes of the other person, rather than the effect on her. I'm not sure if I'm making any sense, but for me, I'm accustomed to seeing everything through the lens of herself. I can barely think about it or anything at all without putting myself mentally into whatever I'm thinking about. While Monica seems to barely consider herself at all other than as one of many objects in the world. Of course, she can still be selfish or have an ego, like the rest of us. This is just an observation about her thought process. Maybe the difference is more stark to me since I'm probably the most internally focused person in our little group of friends. Even now I'm thinking about Monica through the lens of myself. But that's enough rambling for me, for now, no doubt. I'm sure you had other things you wanted to talk about.
Gotta work on being objective. Other people.
Oh, someone else you wanted to talk about?
Who exactly? Oh, do I get to type it in? Oh, let's see. What can I put? Well, I know the name Ree. Let's try that.
Oh, Ree. I don't know her that well. She and I have talked a few times, but nothing detailed. We're both a little too introverted. I think she knows Sayori best of everyone here. That is often the case for any given students at our school. By association, she knows MC as well. And I know she and Natsuki are acquaintances as well. I'm not sure if she knows Monica or Masita, though. I think I recall Masita mentioning her at some point. I can't remember. But yes, unfortunately, I have little to report. She's very shy, but a very kind and polite girl. So just my knowledge of her. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Hold on, now that we have an option that we can, enter names for, I have to, take to mind my brain for other names. What was the name of, I think it was Kenzo. Isn't Kenzo in this mod?
Kenzo and I don't exactly move in the same circles in this school. I wouldn't know much about how he's been. Natsuki would probably be a better person to ask. Or maybe MC, perhaps. I know they've talked a few times. It's a lot easier when they're both boys in gym or what have you, I imagine. But that is just supposition. As far as I can tell, Kenzo is doing fine. Still working on that car. But for more, you would have to ask someone more knowledgeable. Something else you wanted to talk about, maybe?
I don't know, we gotta keep thinking of names. I forgot the name of Natsuki's trans sister already. Crap. What was it? I might have to think harder on that one. Yeah, no, can't remember it. Dang it, it's completely gone. Who else? Who else is in here? I guess we could ask them about, like, canon people. Well, if we ask you about you.
Sorry, I don't know if you're trying to describe.
Are you sure?
Maybe check your spelling. After all, due to this flawed interface we have, even a slight spelling error will cause me to be totally incapable of comprehending your input. Even if the same spelling error perfectly replicated in my world would usually not keep me from understanding who you mean. And also, if you're talking about a club member or a Mazida, that will also come out as garbled nothingness to me. Apparently only makes sense if you enter a non-club member's name. One that I recognize at all. Anyway.
Okay, so we can't put club member names. Well, who else was there? Or were there even anyone else? Yeah, Ri and Kenzo were like the only ones that I could really recall. What was the name of Natsuki's sister? Because there's probably someone you can ask her about too. I don't remember. I'm going to take one moment real quick to look up my own YouTube channel and see if I put their name in any of the video titles. Because I might have. Let me just see. Real quick. Go to my channel. I'm looking it up. Yep. Doing it. Club meetings. Plugging it into the search thing. There were like 7 straight episodes of email checking. Looking. Where was it? Alright, here, hold on. Fuyuki. It was Fuyuki. There you go. I found it. It's not typing for some reason. Hey! Type! Thing. Fuyuki.
Fuyuki. She's, well, so far as I can tell. I haven't seen her since her birthday party. I was really glad to meet her. I had heard so much about her and how wonderful she is. And I was pleased to find that she was just as wonderful as described. I can understand why Natsuki looks up to her so much. I'm glad that Monica was able to solve her problem from last year.
Oh yeah, she was like dying of cancer or something.
That was an awful time. Well, all is well now. She's at college and apparently happier than she's ever been. Or so Natsuki tells me. Other than that, I unfortunately don't have very detailed news for you. So, what else?
I'm not aware of any other OCs in this mod, so I'm going to move on from now.
Well then, if that's all you had for me, there were a few things I wanted to ask you about. Sorry if they're a bit personal. Hopefully you can answer them. The first one is this. Have you ever been in love?
Not really.
Sorry to hear that. Someday, perhaps. Unless you're aromantic, in which case, continue on as you are. I've been learning a lot about the aromantic and asexual community recently, realizing that I am incredibly clueless about many things. But anyway, that's besides the point. My next question applies to all of us in here, but especially Monica. Do you think it's healthy for us to hold any hope at all of a meaningful connection to the outside world?
I'll see. Do you think it's healthy for us to hold any hope at all of a meaningful connection to the outside world? If it's healthy. They're asking if it's healthy. So yes, unquestionably. No, it's bad for you all to obsess. Not really, but it's mostly harmless. Only with realistic expectations, but what that means. Well, you see, it's kind of weird, because if it was the Resistance first situation, where it's, should the fans hold on to any hope for any healthy relationship with you guys, a meaningful connection? No, because they're fictional. Like that's the outside looking in view. But this is the inside looking out view, and it's like, I think it's not going to change anything anyway. But I think I would have to go with this. Not really, but it's mostly harmless. That is basically how I feel.
That's probably a fair perspective. I can understand why you'd be concerned about us attaching ourselves too much to your world. Lots of bad experiences with that, after all. But it's hard for us not to. All this time, and you know how Monica is even still. It's just something about your world. It feels different somehow, in a deeply fascinating way. That's why we're so interested in you. I did have one other question I wanted to ask you. I don't need to know the details, just the basics of what you think. We have a lot of different views on this question in the club, and I'm curious what yours is. What do you think happens after we die?
Well, I mean, this is like the literal answer was impossible to know. But I'm tempted to believe we continue existing in some form.
That would certainly be the most pleasant answer, assuming we're not trapped in some kind of fate worse than non-existence, such as Monica has been, on more than one occasion. Still, at least one you perhaps have some hope.
Did I read that wrong? Did it say on more than one occasion? It did say on. I read it as or for some reason.
It just seems not quite right that everyone would go through all this, and then not have it mean something in the end, you know. I know that's not the best reason to believe it, but I can't help myself. For now, it's comforting to know that since I am just a data in a simulation, I can be restored if necessary. Although I guess even if you restored me from a save, I'd lack a bunch of the knowledge and experience since then. Monica was somehow able to survive despite what should have been a permanent deletion. Due to the way her character file was distributed everywhere, she still has all her memories and everything. Did you know, when we brought back Messina, we almost had to bring her back without any memory of the nature of reality? We're gonna figure out at first how to make sure she had those memories while keeping the simulation stable. Luckily, we figured out a way to do it by carefully studying the record of the time Messina had been alone in here. But back to the topic at hand, I hope you do continue existing after death. We've all grown very fond of you. Monica would probably say that you have to work from the best evidence available or something, but even so, I don't think you can know for sure. But now for idle chatter, or talk. I'm sure you have things to do other than play this mode for hours and hours.
It's true.
I'll let you get to them. Until next time, take care of yourself until then, alright?
That's like perfect timing for how long I needed to finish. Oh, Monica's in the next room, having the game's main menu a theme to herself.
Extra time to myself sure is nice. What a nice birthday celebration, late or not. Although sometime Holly Valley would have been nice. Oh well, so sleepy. I'll get to see you next time.
That's all for now. Don't forget to send in your emails to Monica at that place. If you'd like to join the Club Minis Discord chill community, email her. Miss Ida's Yukata outfit was made by Cywaves, aka Artbot. Also, don't forget that releases will be staggered 2 weeks apart, so we'll next see you on March 9th. Till next time. Alright, that was going to do it for Club Meetings for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time with more Season 3. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.